Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go through the Warrior 1.0 epic for the Blade of Tactics and Blade of Strategy. We're going to start here in East Freeport, right here in, East Freeport. We're located right here. So if you come in from North Row, it's right over here. Simple enough. The quest starts with Kargic Redblade, so let's go ahead and hail him. And I have to be in Dark Elf mode and not Ogre mode for this, as the militia guards that come by do not like Ogres, but they're okay with Dark Elves. I don't know. Alright. Kargic Redblade looks up from his forge and says, "Hello there. Can I help you?" Your eyes are drawn to an extremely red sword scabbard strapped to his back with no sword in it. Kargic speaks again. "I said, can I help you, or do you need help from Wyndon?" So we're going to say, tell me about that scabbard. Redblade turns and looks at you and says, "It's a family heirloom. I might tell you the story behind it if you do me a little favor." "What favor would that be, my kind friend?" "An associate of mine is wandering somewhere in the Verant. His name is Okanogan Stone Smacker. If you deliver this note to him, I would appreciate it." Alright, so we need to take this note to Okanogan Stone Smacker in the Verant. So we're gonna head there, and when we find him, we'll continue. Alright, we're here at Okanogan Stone Smacker. Let's go ahead and hail him. He says, "Leave me alone." And so what we're gonna do is just give him the note right here, like so. And what's he say? He snatches the note from your hand and rips it open with his large hands. "You take this to Kargic. He want," Okanogan says, as he throws you a tiny loot. There we go, we have a tiny loot. And we need to take that back to Freeport. So I'm going to hoof my way up to Freeport through the swamp and stuff, and we'll get there. And Okanogan is located right here. So you're at Oglock, directly there. It's noted on the goods maps. If you're a good race, you're going to want to come through here and just go all the way, follow the river, and he's right here at the bridge. Perfect enough. Alright, we're back here in Freeport at Kargic. We're going to go ahead and give him the tiny loot he was asking for from the Ogre. There we go. "Thank you for delivering the note to my associate. Take this book. It will tell you a little of the history of the old scabbard. If you would like to own the scabbard, seek out my younger brother, Teniel, and give him the book." Alright, so Teniel is in East Karana. But before you go there, you should probably already have everything you need. So to go there, you need the Heart of the Frozen, and you need the red and green dragon scale. As you can see, I don't have the red and green dragon scale yet. So what we're going to do is when we have that, we're going to go there and get that done. Alright, so now we're going to get the jeweled dragon head hilt, and it comes from this guy right here, Wyndon Blackhammer. So let's go ahead and hail him. "What do you need? Be specific. I'm a bit busy right now." So what we need to do is tell him that we have the unjeweled dragon head hilt. So let's go ahead and say, "I have the unjeweled dragon head hilt." What is it you need to be knowing about hilts? Do you need one made or repaired? Alright, I have tried countless times to figure out what the phrase is to get him to tell me that he needs these items. The text is on Alakazam, but none of the text items that I found actually get him to respond. So let's just go ahead and hand this stuff over to him and get this little part done. Here we go. There we go, and now we have the jeweled dragon head hilt. That is one of the final items we'll need. And he says, what is it you need to be knowing about hilts? He begins to fiddle with the hilt, gently pressing the gems into place. It seems to take forever as you watch in silence. Wyndon slowly places the last gem and gently bends the settings to hold the gems before he hands it back to you. That is a very impressive looking hilt there. The material it is made out of seems strangely familiar. As he turns back to his forge and begins his other work. So we had to turn in the unjeweled dragonhead hilt, which drops, it's not dropped, it's a ground spawn in Lake Rathe, a diamond, a jacinth, and a black sapphire, which are all found on higher level mobs. Alright, now we need to get the ancient sword blade, and it comes from this guy right here. We go ahead and hail him. Hello, Yard. I am Denkin Strongpick. I wish to get off this rock, silly clan honor. My boss broke our rebreathers, and we cannot go back to the mainland before we gather some goblin relics. So we say, what? Goblin relics. There's supposedly goblin ruins around here somewhere. Fendel Mend thinks we'll find Patered underwater. We did find one thing. What did you find? I guess oh, there we go. We found some very fine sword blade. Dinkin pulls. I'll open up his pack. Shows you the razor sharp sword covered in runes. I can't figure out what type of metal it is. And I'm sure I can't figure out what technique was used to forge it. Perhaps you would like to take it off my hands and buy it? Buy it, you say? Out here, money is fairly useless to me, you see. I can't leave a Fendelmend out here alone, and I sign on a very detailed contract. I could sure use a few things from the mainland, though. Use what things? I would be willing to part with this very fine blade for a keg of Voxtail Ale, a block of permafrost to keep it cool, and 2 new rebreathers to get this operation back underway. Alright, so he needs some items. Now, typically, you go and get these items for him. You buy the ale from a guy in Common Lands. You get the block from the ice giants in what zone is it? Permafrost. Yeah, Permafrost Keep, where Vox is, from the ice giants there. And then the rebreathers are made by tinkerers. But since I'm an ogre and I like to get things done, we're gonna go ahead and just kill him. And he drops the blade also. So let's go ahead and pull him. He's a level 55. See how hard he hits. He's hitting for pretty much nothing. So yeah, you can see he's doing very little damage to us. So what we're gonna do is get a taunt on him. I'm gonna send in. I have my whole crew here. I got a mage, a wizard, my enchanter, and my cleric. So should be fine. There we go. So most of the damage is going to be from me and the wizard, I would assume. He can land spells. Yeah, he's getting his ice comets on there just fine, I think. We're gonna kill this guy real quick. Yeah, full damage. And we'll loot the blade right after that. Shouldn't be too much issue with killing this guy. So they're not all 60, so the enchanter is the only one 60, and she's actually not even doing anything. Let's go ahead and slow this guy. I didn't charm her pet or anything, so just kind of makes her useless there. Now he's slow, so I probably can finish this off myself. I have damage shield and not much else. There we go. Get the Let's get the bard swinging his sword. I have a the bard's only 45. He's just here for I got him the horn on the way. So we're gonna finish this fight up and loot the blade. All right, and there we go. He dies. There is the ancient sword blade. So we're going to go ahead and take that for ourselves. And we'll use this later on in the epic quest. Now we have both blades. And all we need now is the dragon scales. All right, we're here in Frontier Mountains, inside the giant fort, in the tunnel all the way at the back here. We're going to talk to Min Trax here and get his Rajami ore from him. All right. What be it you want? Go away before I eat you for dinner. So let's see here. I think we say Wyndon sent me. Oh, old Wyndon. Guess you'll be wanting some ore. Well, you can't have none. Not unless you get me a new monocle. No, no, no. Don't try to even talk. You either bring me a new monocle that will fit, or no, or for you. He's like a soup Nazi. All right, so we had farmed up a giant-sized monocle in the Dreadlands from the Patriarch. I didn't record that, but it's a trivial spawn. Turned it in. And you get the Rajami ore right here. Let's put that. We don't need the block of permafrost anymore, so let's put that right there. And there we go. So next to the next sub-combine of the quest. All right, we're here in East Karana, and we're here at Felonius Sword Dancer. And I believe he is part of the quest. Or the start of the actual warrior quest here. So let's talk to him and see what he says. Hello, Yerd. I am Felonius Sword Dancer, a traveling historian and storyteller. Would you care to hear a story? I would love to hear a story. I could treat you to a story about an ogre legend, or perhaps you would like to hear a story about a gnome who cried kobold. A gnome, you say? Once upon a time, there was a young gnome boy. His job was to repair the clockworks outside Akanon and tell the guards if there were any trouble from kobolds. Well, one day, the boy decided to play a prank on the guards. He decided it would be fun to watch the guards in full plate armor run around from the gates of Akanon to the valley that led to the Fadark forest. The boy cried out as loud as he could, running to the guard. Kobolds! Kobolds! They're dragging off a girl into the forest. The guards sprinted in the direction of the forest, looking to destroy the kobold menace. The boy jogged after and laughed the whole time. When the guards arrived, there were, of course, no kobolds. He trudged back to Akanon, awaiting some excitement. The next day, the boy claimed that the kobolds were attacking one of the local farms. The guards all ran to save the farm, of course. No kobolds, no sign of battle. Angered by another prank, the guards cursed the boy and went back to their stations at the entrance of Akanon. The following day, the boy was fixing a small clockwork just out of view of the guard. A vicious kobold sprang at him and ripped into him with his big claws. The boy screamed and cried, the kobolds, kobolds! But the guards did not come, for had they grown tired of the boy's pranks, and the kobolds had a fine meal that night. The end. All right. That was not the story I was looking for. All right, so if we say, what ogre legends? Su Ting was an ogre champion who walked the land before the children of Ralosek were cursed. He feared no other creation of Zek, and the children of the other gods were to be laughed at. It was at this time that Ralos Zek was seeking a warrior to unite all of his armies and lead them to battle against the forces of the other gods. Let's see here. Su Teng was a great combatant. However, he was far too cocky to be a suitable leader, and this displeased Ralosek, one who respected no one could not do this. In order to test Su Teng, who had grown far too confident, Ralos had his twin sons craft 2 swords to test his great ogre warrior's reaction and resolve. Ralos created a great red scabbard to hold the swords as well. The swords were like no others, each one having an ornately crafted hilt shaped like a dragon head. Sparkling diamonds, black sapphires, jacinth covered the handles as well. The razor-sharp blades were covered in runes that glowed and shimmered. Su Teng bowed in reverence to his lord Ralos Zek as he was given the weapons. Ralos warned Su Teng that the weapons might destroy him if he were not truly worthy of leading his armies. Not heeding Ralos' warning, the weapons might be too powerful for him to control. Su Teng gathered up a raiding party of his finest warriors to seek battle. They traveled across the land in search of a suitable target. Finally, they came across a goblin army camped upon the plains. Su Teng sounded his battle charge, and his band of ogres charged down the hillside into the army's encampment. With each swipe of their swords, the ancient ogres slew many goblins. Su Teng waded through the battle with his new weapons, calling out for the blood of more powerful foes. His bloodlust grew with each kill, his blades spurring him onward. Ignoring his own wounds, he fought until the goblin army was dead. Or scattered into the winds. Only the hulking ogres of old remained standing on the blood-soaked plains. Su Teng felt like a god that would be his downfall. And that would be his downfall. He looked to his companions, the great and powerful ogre warriors with whom he had killed and shed blood. Su Teng felt nothing but contempt for them. They, of course, were weaker than he, or at least so he thought. Without a second thought, Su Teng stabbed the ogre nearest to him in the neck with one of the swords. His body moved like a whirlwind of death, slaughtering his own companions. The ogres fought back valiantly. No match for Su Teng as in enchanted blades. The laughter of Ralos Zek boomed across the plains as the Lord of War appeared before Su Teng and took the weapons from the ogre's hands. The swords slashed into Su Teng swiftly, killing him where he stood. The Lord of War spoke to remaining ogres on the battlefield, explained why he had tested Su Teng. He told them that he also told each that they had to wish to wield the blade, they would have to seek them out, for they would be broken into pieces and spread across Nora. The blades would not be whole again until a suitable warrior found the pieces and gained the red scabbard. The Lord of War handed the smallest ogre the great red scabbard and told him this was his charge, and that his charge of his family to test any warrior who wished to have it. And there you go. That's like the intro quest, like the teaser to the Warrior Epics. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue down this path. So we're in East Karana. We're going to follow down this tunnel until we get to Tenil Redblade, and we'll continue the story from there. All right. We're here at Tenil Redblade, and we need to give him Redblade's legacy. So let's go ahead and read this real quick. So it's written by Kargic Redblade the 7th. Long ago, our ancestors, Kargic the First, was on the battlefield as a companion to Sertelk, with his might and quickness, he slew many goblin warriors that day as a Surtuk with the help of his other magical blades. When the great warrior went insane and was slain by our lord Ralosek, the blades of Sir Telk were spread across Norath until a true warrior could control the blades came forth. Ralosek himself took a great red scabbard and handed to Thegric. It was to be his charge and the charge of our family to hold the scabbard until a true warrior stepped forward to be tested. As the son of Red Blade family, it is your duty to protect the scabbard and test those who think they are worthy of holding it. So you can kind of see here, like, the name is a little bit different than I already cleared the chat, but the name here is the different as the champion warrior. It was Su Teng in there, and it's Sir Telk here, so a little different. And they were all ogres, and this guy is not an ogre, so unless ogres and humans can get it on, I don't know. But anyway, so let's go ahead and let's hail him first. What brings you to my home, Yerd? Do you seek the knowledge of Ralosek? Okay, we're just gonna hand him the book. Like so. So you know my brother, Kargic. He is weak and does not believe the legend that our family was chosen by Ralosek to bear the great scabbard. Yet he still holds it very well. I shall give you the first test since my dear brother seems to have forgotten it. Travel to the fortress where the children of Ralosek were first cursed by the rathe, and bring me the heart of one of the goblins who have made it their new home. Do not return without the heart of your foe and this war totem. Alright, so he handed us a frozen war totem. And we're going to hand him back the Heart of Frost. The Heart of Frost came from Permafrost. I got it in one of the videos where we killed Lady Vox. Or somewhere around there. It drops from there. So it drops from Goblin Wizards. Alright, let's go ahead and hand these in. Get a Totem of Fiery War back from him. Very good. You have wreaked havoc on your foes in the ancient land of the giants. Ralosek must have guided your blade. Tenno's voice is suddenly silenced, and you feel as if your body is frozen. From Tenniel's lips issues a voice that is not his own. Bring this mortal the scales of the children of Vishen, the red and green, as well as my war totem. I will guide your blade. Your movement returns as Tenniel falls to the ground, gasping for breath. Alright, so that was weird. Sounded strange there for a second. So it sounds like he needs a red dragon scale and a green dragon scale. The red dragon scale comes from Lord Nagafin. There's many videos of killing that on the channel, and Severus is another one, and there's many videos of killing that on the channel now, I think, at this point. So we're going to give him the red and green scale plus the totem that we just got. So let's hand these over like so, and now we get a mark of the sword. Tenniel Redblade looks at you oddly as you hand him the scales. What are... You have done well, mortal. And you will be rewarded if you are truly brave. Travel to the Plane of Hatred and slay the ancient bard who lives there. Do not return without his hand and this mark, or you will never be a true warlord. Tenniel drops to the ground as his last words leave his lips. Alright, so now we need the Hand of the Maestro. So this comes from the hand that spawns after you kill the Maestro in a Plane of Hate, Or if you're on a newer server, the hand is a separate spawn that just spawns. At least that's how it was when I ran up to hate. Maybe someone killed the maestro, but the maestro I don't think exists in live, so this might be a TLP only thing. Except the hand is a special thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the hand and the mark back. So we're going to give the mark, going to give the hand. Go ahead and hand those over. Now we get a Tinnel's note to Kargic. There we go. Tinnel Red Blade looks horrified as you give him the hand of the Maestro of Rancor and show him the mark of the sword. The godlike voice returns. You have done well to acquire this. One final task must be accomplished before you hold the red scabbard in your mortal hands. Tinnel reaches out and hands you a note. Take this note and a wing blade of the Spirox to Kargic. When he receives them, I will speak to you one last time. There we go. Wow, that's weird. Alright, so now we need to head back to East Freeport and turn in the note to Kargic and the Spirox Windblade. Alright, so we're in East Freeport now, right over here, right here. So you come in from North Row, right here. Alright, this tent, I am in Dark Elf form because obviously they don't like me here. But for some reason they like Dark Elves. So Kargic is right here. We're going to give him Tinnel's note, it's unreadable, and the wing blade. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hand that to him, like so. Which gives us the red scabbard, which is a container. Perfect. Alright. And let's see. What is this? A note from my brother. Thank you for the gift as well. Kargic reads the note and hands you the huge sword. Hands you a huge sword hilt. What? Your mind is filled with the sound of battle and a voice. Place the ancient sword blade, the ancient blade, a finely crafted dragon head hilt, and the jewel dragon head hilt into the scabbard and receive your reward. If you think you are worthy, place your rewards into the scabbard and see what havoc you can unleash on the world. Kargic addresses you as you turn and leave. One more thing. Guard over there has told me there's a great new discovery. Seems there are some sort of stones being found recently discovered in the lost dungeons scattered around Anatonica. The Wayfarer's Brotherhood has found a way to make the items more powerful by using the stones with existing items. Talk to him if you're more interested. So that guy over there will turn them into Og blades. Alright, so what we need to do is finish these blades. So I have the ancient blade, ancient sword blade. Alright, I need to make... That one's done. I need to make this one. And... let's go and hail this guy. Alright, so this is, I think we were where I was earlier in the video. And I could not get this to work. So let me try. Yeah, so he doesn't seem to respond to the same thing that shows on Alakazam. So we can skip the next line, which I'll just go ahead and read it here. So when you say I have a severely dragon head hilt, he's supposed to say, where in the world did you drag that up? Dinkin peers closely at the severely damaged dragon head hilt. This metal is the same material that some mages use to make powerful golems, and this other metal looks like Regizium ore. If you can find some of those materials, I can fix it up easy. And then you say, what golems? The metal is used as the soul of a powerful magical construction. Like golems, I do not know any place in this world where you could find a golem with a living center as powerful as this once was. And then, what is GCM or Regisium ore is from the lands of Kunark. The mountain giants in the frontier mountains control the only known mine of this great ore. They have built a vast fortress around the mine to protect it. The giants do not particularly like to trade with us smaller folk, but there is one old miner named Mintrax Mountain Bone who has traded with me in the past. Go find him and tell him Windin has sent you. And we've already done that. And we have the ore. And the ball of ever-living golem came from the Plane of Fear. One of the 3 golems, mini-bosses there, are what we had to kill for that. Alright, and looks like all we have to do is hand him these 3 items. 1, 2, and 3. There we go, and we get the finely crafted dragon head hilt, and we have both blades. So the ancient blade, ancient sword blade. I'm trying to remember which one came from which. The ancient blade came from the Queen of Charduk, and I think I did that with a guild group, and we just like went down there and killed it with like 2 groups. So I don't have a video of that at the moment, but it was pretty easy. And the ancient sword blade came from Denken Strongpick in Ocean of Tears. Let's see if I can pull it up on the map, right? See, we're here in northeast Anatonica, Ocean of Tears. Ocean of Tears, there we go. Zoom out. Over on this island right here. So you zone in right here at the thing. If you swim all the way over here, Denken Strongpick. I think it's in the video. I'll have to check. I can't remember how much I've recorded so far. I started recording this when I started the Epic, and now I finished it. He spawns here. You can either do his quest, which is turn in a keg of Voxtail Ale, a block of permafrost, 2 rebreathers, and he gives you the blade. Or you can kill him. And I chose to kill him because I'm an ogre, and I don't like dwarves. So there we go. That's how I got those items. Let's go ahead and get a free bag slot. Let's go ahead and get this all done. Move that one, and there's the red scabbard. So let's open that bad boy up. And when I played on Agnar, you could put swords of runes in here, and you could duplicate the red blade, which was kind of funny, but you can't do that anymore. All right, there we go. Now we get the red scabbard and some swords. So we get the blade of tactics and the blade of strategy. There we go. We've completed our epic 1.0. So these are pretty nice weapons. The blade of tactics. All right, let's kind of go first person right here. Blade of tactics. Let's take these off. So the blade of tactics is the main blade, and the blade of strategy. No, I have those backwards, don't I? Which one's here? Strategy? Yeah, strategy goes main. Yeah, red is the primary. This is the one that does like a hate proc, and then the other one does a dexterity buff. So if we kind of look at these a little bit closer here, right? They're 14, 40, 24, so they're about, almost a 6 ratio, 0.6 ratio. The blade of tactics gives you 30 attack, 5 all resist, 50 hit points, 10 strength, 10 dex. Whereas the blade of strategy gives you the same ratio, 50 HP, another 5 all resist, but it gives you 15 stamina and 10 strength. So they're pretty nice. Overall, you get 20 strength and 15 dexterity, stamina, 30 attack, 100 HP, 10 all resist, and then you get these procs, right? Let's see here. Come on. So this is a Warn effect that gives you even more dex. So I'm at 190 dex. If I take this off, I go down to 135. So as you can see, that one blade gives over 50 dex. So there's that. And then the Rage of Valen proc on the other one is 100 points of severe anger and damage. So it's pretty nice. But that's not it. So I can take the red scabbard, right? I can take sword 1, sword 2, and click combine. And then we get a new sword, this one here. Right there, it's a two-hander. Let's open this one up real quick. So this one is 100 HP, 10 all resist. So it's pretty much takes all the stats from the weapons and gives you a new weapon. That's a 0.87 ratio, so it's a little bit better. I'm using a Argent Protector right now, so it's better than the Argent Protector. And it gives a 175 damage proc with some with the hate in there too. So that's pretty nice. You do lose out, I guess, on the attack. And you lose out on the dex buff, it looks like. Yeah, I'm only at 150 dex, so there's an extra 40-ish dex that I'm missing right there. So definitely that is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and pop this back in here. Get the two swords back. Tactics main, strategy main. So yeah, we're looking pretty fly right here. Look at this. Like, yeah. Get a little screenshot. But that's not going to be the thumbnail for the video. All right, let's go over here to, let's go ahead and finish this all up, right? Guardhog Smite Hammer, let's go and hail him. All right, he says a lot. You have heard of the strange stones being recovered from the ancient dungeons. It is true. Powerful stones of unknown origins have been discovered as of late. In the newly discovered dungeons, I see you wield a warrior's most prized honor. Congratulations on your acquiring such a fine weapon. It holds great power. I worry, however, if you were to try and augment your new weapon with one of those new stones. I have done some research, and it seems the red scabbard used to combine and uncombine your weapon, but could potentially harm any augmentation you might add. However, with the help of Wind in here, I have been able to successfully forge all three of your weapons. The scabbard no longer works with them, but you have achieved some nice results by adding various augmentations to them. We could perhaps craft you a new set of weapons if you're interested. I'm quite interested. Pulls out a shiny smithy hammer. Hand me your red scabbard and your jagged blade of war, and I will supply the rest of the metal here. Alright, so it looks like we need to recombine these into the Jagged Blade of War. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So there's 1 and 2. Combine. So that gives us the Jagged Blade of War and the Red Scabbard. Alright, since you helped out Kargic with a note from his brother, the gift to give you. So let's give that and that. There we go. I feel like I got cheated there. Oh, there it is. I was like, I was freaking out there for a second. All right. Now we have all three weapons, and they have the same stats, same, everything, right? So we just go ahead and put these back on. There we go. Red blade. We got our lightsabers, and then we have a normal, and we can put Ogres in these, right? So that works out well, because we still use Ogres, right? We have the Wolfenite Gem, and I have the Wolfenite segment in those two weapons, and then I have the Etherean Gem here. It's a 20. Wow, that's a terrible heal. 25 every second. Wow, that's terrible. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I have the wrong gem in there right now. But yeah, there we go. So that is the Warrior Epic 1.0 from start to finish. There's maybe a little sideway things in there. If I missed anything, I tried to get in the lore about how you find the sword. Something I missed in the Bard version of the Epic video. But I think this is good, and now we are Epic. We have accomplished quite a bit. They feel really cool on the Dark Elf. They feel longer than I remember. Kind of the glow coming off from this. Really cool weapon. But there you go. Next up is going to be either the Cleric or... Yeah, this is going to be the Cleric. I already did Shaman. I have all the items for those ones, so I'll work on those sooner or later. But thank you guys very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.